pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we're going to have our reading of the mission statement by Donna.
Our mission, Macomb County Community Mental Health, guided by the values, strengths, and informed choices of the people we serve, provides quality services which promote recovery, community participation, self-sufficiency, and independence.
Thank you. Next, we are going to have an adoption of the agenda with the addition to add the letter of intent, which you all received from 35th Macomb LLC, and we are going to take that at the end, so that would be letter I. Support. Thank you. And now, do I need to vote? I always forget that at the other meeting too. All in favor say aye. Aye. All right. Any abstain or no's? Wonderful. Next, we're going to have a hearing of the public. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak? No, don't jump up too fast, guys. Good. All right, I think we are good. Next, we're going to have our request to approve 5A, request to approve CMH board policy for Open Meetings Act policy and guidelines. And Tracy's going to talk about that one.
You've seen this before. We moved this to this meeting, so additional questions to discussion as appropriate. Red lines or legal, and also of course Drew is here if you have any specific questions.
Do you have any questions? All right, Nick?
Let me get the song. There it goes. Yeah, I don't. I'm going to vote for this because it's the law, and we got to follow the law anyways. But I would bring to the attention of all the commissioners, and you may or may not want to speak to your legislators about it. We got enough to do in other areas. So, the fact is that when we were under the emergency rules that allowed our meetings to be either hybrid or virtual, we had more participation from our board members, but we also, let's see, we've got what, 6 people out there, and most of them are staff. We'd have 100 people paying attention to the meeting. The purpose of the Open Meetings Act was to allow public participation. You get much better public participation if you give a hybrid option or a Zoom option. The legislature is not willing to let us do it at this point. I'd urge everybody to tell them they should let us do it because, quite frankly, it's more convenient, not just for us, but for the public who the Open Meetings Act was adopted to defend. That's my little soapbox discussion for today. Other than that, at this point, we should follow the law.
Anyone else? All right, well, I do agree that we should absolutely follow the law. So with that, all in favor, can we say aye? Any objection? Yes.
I'll second.
Thank you. Oh gosh, you would think this is my third rodeo, so yeah, I should.
You just did them in reverse.
Yeah. All right. Next, can I get a motion to request to approve renewal agreement for Kronos for 1 year in the amount of $71,925.27? Thank you. And is Gail here? Oh, you came in.
We'd have someone here.
Good evening. Hi, thank you so much for having me here today. This is what we call our UKG system, and it's our timekeeping and payroll system. We also run data and reports out of it. It's an annual contract for us that we're looking to hopefully renew to keep up with not only our county staff, but our ABO staff and also our independent contractors to, keep them in the system and running smoothly, which is about 400 to 500 people at a time. So we know county has Workday as well, but we use the system internally, and we've had it prior to the Workday system. It also allows us to do cost centers, things like that that are required from us. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Donna?
Yeah, I wondered how this coordinates with the county system, because I know they have their own timekeeping system too.
Correct. So they have what we call Workday. So they adopted that about a year ago. And so what we do is we use this timesheet and we will incorporate the time, it's electronic monitoring for all of our county staff, along with the others. Download those reports and upload them into Workday so that it's all in their system as well. But internally, we're able to view all three, ABO, county, and independent contractors in our UKG Chronos system.
Well, just to follow up, would it be possible to use the same system that the county uses, or no?
So in some aspects, the county employees do use it for benefits in their W-2s, but the detail that we need, like cost centers that are required on our end, that's not available for us to do in Workday at this time. So it requires us to have another system. And then also we do a lot of our reports out of UKG for any of our audits or things like that, so that we can pull information quickly for all staff in one system instead of separate systems.
Okay.
Does that
thank you.
help?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, Donna. Are there any other questions? No? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstain? Okay, I think we can move on to 5C. Request to approve, motion to approve the renewal agreement with Happier Not Americas for 1 year in the amount of $15,336.79. This has already been approved by legal. Thank you. Okay, Gail.
Sorry, I just stayed up here because I knew it was
You're
coming.
good. Thank you.
No problem. So Happy or Not is our system that if you go into any of our clinics, you'll see a happy face machine where it has happy to not so happy. So any of our consumers that come in or any staff, they can push that button and we'll get instant feedback. So if somebody's not happy, we'll be able to get that in our email. We can then take care of that issue right away. We also get weekly, monthly reports, and then it's available so it can tell us individually which departments we are getting that from. Another request on here was to get one additional machine because we have one department at West that doesn't have access to that. So we're hoping to include that in this year so that we can cover that area as well.
Wonderful. Any questions? I love that machine. I think it's so fun. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any objections or abstain? Okay, looks like that is approved. Thank you.
Thank you
Gail.
very much.
Next, can we have a motion to approve the amendment for treatment and access management contract and the SUGS 25 contract with MDHHS? This has been approved by legal. Can I get a motion?
Support.
Thank you. And we have Nicole.
So this was an amendment to update the special provisions that go along with the contract. In the original special provisions, they had some errors where they left out the word pregnant in 2 places, and they left out the MDOC supervised clients as part of the priority populations. So they just made that correction to the special provisions and included it.
Any questions? No? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstain? All right, Nicole, looks like you have the next few. So,
yeah.
5E, can I get a motion to approve the amendment to the State Opioid Response 4 grant in the SUGS 25 contract with MDHHS, and this has been approved by legal? Can I get a motion? Thank you. Nicole?
So when our finance administrator originally entered the de minimis amount in the EGRAM system, there was an error that put 25 cents on a separate line. So they corrected the error in E-grams and then asked her to put the 25 cents back on the other line.
Wow, all right. Any questions on that corridor? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstain? All right, 5G, we're on, request, oh, okay, I got a little ahead of myself with this pen. Thanks, Sandy. 5F, request to approve the amendment to the alcohol use disorder grants in SUGS 25 contract with MDHHS. This has also been approved by legal.
So MDHHS reached out and asked us to develop a statement of work for each of the contracted providers that were included in this grant. So we just developed a statement of work indicating that we would be utilizing the grant funds to support the costs for withdrawal management for clients who have alcohol use disorder and were not insured or underinsured.
Okay. Any questions for Nicole on this one? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstain? No? All right, 5G, request to approve the amendment to the Healing and Recovery Grant in the SUGS 25 contract with MDHHS. This has also been approved by legal. Cool.
So this was an amendment that we requested. One of the line items in this grant was to go toward training for our provider network. And we had a lot less people sign up for the trainings than we had anticipated. So in order to best utilize the funds in the grant, we asked to have those moved towards our line item for the engagement center to cover some of the additional costs for construction and supplies that we didn't anticipate up front. So MDHHS agreed to make those changes, and we just updated that in E-grams.
Thanks. Any questions, guys? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any objections or abstain? All right. So that's it for Nicole. Now we're going to move on for 5H. Can I get a motion to approve contracting with the 3 vendors for SRS services and credentials and contract with 3 vendors for SRS services pending the needs of those who were served effective August 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2027. Can I get a motion? All right, we have Christina.
Hi.
Hi.
So this one is a little different than when you see me make other requests after requests for proposals or RFPs. So I just want to give you a little context of why I'm asking for it in this format. So the first 3, standard approval, we're asking you to approve that. We would credential and extend them contracts. Almost immediately, we have an onboarding schedule that they could participate in next month, or this month. The next 3 are all out of county. So we don't have a pressing need for that. Right now, the need for specialized residential services, SRS, is in Macomb County. But they do have homes. They were vetted. They would pass credentialing from what they've already provided from the credentialing requirements that we have through MDHHS. And sometimes we do have a need to place individuals outside of the county. So we thought to be proactive and ask for your approval now. And then if an individual served presents that would be a good fit or need one of these homes, then we can go ahead and credential them and contract with them for that individual. And then there's no holdup of waiting to come back to the board and say, can we have this? We can immediately meet the needs of those individuals. We may not need those homes, but we thought to be proactive again and just ask for that approval now so that they're there if we need them.
Great, thank you. Do you have any questions? Love being proactive. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any abstains or objections? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. The next one is the I, which is the letter of intent. Can I get a motion to approve? We're approving this, and we have Drew and TJ that will speak more on this for us. All right.
Good evening. I apologize for this fast-moving development that you just got handed tonight. We received last week a letter of intent that required our signature. We are being asked by the landlord of the 19800 Hall Road facility, our administrative building, to move part of our staff. There is a relocation clause in our lease, our current lease, that he is exercising. I apologize that that got through. We should have never approved it. We will never approve a relocation clause again, I assure you. But he is exercising that portion of the lease. We have been negotiating on the ground floor to get the best deal we possibly can, to only move half of our staff. The original was to move all staff to the second floor, but we negotiated something better in keeping half of the staff on the first floor and moving the other half of the staff to the second floor. We have those plans and that design, and before the landlord moves forward, he is asking us to sign a letter of intent. We were unhappy with the original letter of intent that was hand-delivered to Tracy last week. It was moving so fast, a few days ago. And we handed that off to Drew, and we pushed back on what it was, what they offered, some of the terms of that letter of intent. And the deal was just negotiated today, so that's why it's in front of you. I believe we are going to ask for approval at the next board meeting for this letter of intent, but we
It'll
felt
follow
the
the same
need.
pattern, right here, and then move to the
Right,
next.
but we felt the need to bring it to you. A little context on the lease. There is no increase in the lease other than what's established in the original lease, so which was a 2% per year increase. We are gaining additional square footage, but we're not going to pay for that square footage. The intent on behalf of the landlord is to give us whatever we need to make this move. At least that was the context. But because of the wording in the original lease and why we're in this position, we're fine-tooth combing this new to make sure that we're going to cover all of our bases moving forward. It is going to be a disruption, but they are going to take care of all costs, the moving cost, the cabling costs, the building costs. That process needs to happen very quickly in order for this to take place. And that's why it's a very fast-moving development. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of context on it. You may ask why we may be getting into a new lease. The new lease will come before you based on what is currently happening with MDHHS, some other things. But as an agency that is only allowed to lease property, that's why we have to do what we have to do. So there is no additional cost. The new lease will come before you sometime before it needs to be executed, which will probably be in the next couple of months. The lease end date is September 29th, 2026. So we have to give notification 120 days prior to that we are going to renew that lease. So that will be coming up sometime in the next couple of months, like I said. So Drew, our crack attorney, took care of getting the best letter of intent possible. If I can answer any questions as it regards to the lease, what our plan is. If you have any questions about the letter of intent, I think Drew is better positioned to answer those questions.
All right. Donna? There it is.
I was wondering if we know what the intention is for the first floor from the current landlord.
Yes.
What is it?
We share the first floor, the entire first floor of that building. We occupied one half. The other half sat vacant for some time, and Pace moved in. If you don't know Pace, they're an organization that, they moved in. Pace needs to expand their services, and they have requested to take some of our space. And the relocation clause, unfortunately, is going to force us to give up that space. I don't want to sound dire. We don't have a fallback position, except to move to the second floor. We'll still all be together. We'll be on 2 different floors. It is not the best scenario, but it is a very good plan B. That's the best way that I could describe it.
Pace is in need of, they can't use the elevator. So the individuals that come in are often in wheelchairs. They don't have another place. They cannot occupy a second floor due to the wheelchair accessibility and the type of elevator that they would need. So they don't have another also solution to their dilemma.
Nick? Nick?
Yeah, you sent this out earlier today, I suspect, because I didn't see this.
You didn't see it because we apologized, but we got it, what do you think, Drew, 4 o'clock?
Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. I mean, this is the first time I've seen it.
Agreed.
I hear you. I'm not thrilled either. You're not thrilled. You may not have a choice. I don't have an objection to moving it to full board, but I reserve the right to object to full board. And quite frankly, as TJ well knows, I've got your phone number. So I'll look this stuff over and call you with any.
Feel free, anyone, if anyone has any questions. I'm committed to this. I certainly don't want to be in a position that we have no place to go. And I want to make sure that our staff gets everything that we possibly can in this scenario. I do believe it will take us some time to settle in, but within a short order, we'll all be working together just from 2 separate floors. And we have a very good plan in place for that to happen.
It will allow a new front desk that will be branded in our image. It will allow us, our front desk, to be more ADA compliant.
There's going to
We'll
be
have
a
better lighting. Just to
deeper
be
level
clear,
of
we're not
security.
happy about this. We're just trying to point out the positives that we're trying to make this into. It will also allow us to have more kind of conference space as needed, and it does give us more space and therefore more options.
That's correct. Along with this, there are some benefits to us as well. And I don't know if they're worth mentioning, but some more storage space in the basement, that sort of thing. It's the best that we could do.
And we have another question.
What percentage of the space will be on the first floor versus the second floor, number one? And I heard you say something about an elevator, because I worried about accessibility.
Right. We still will have the elevator. The elevator we'll still have use of. We'll still have use of the first floor bathroom facilities. We'll have use of a second floor bathroom facility, which is a real plus for us. We'll have a larger kitchen, plus a kitchenette. 16,000, don't quote me, roughly 16,000 square feet on the second floor, 10,000 square feet on the first floor.
So we'll retain 10,000 square feet on the first floor, and lose the rest, and then.
That's correct.
How much square footage on the first floor are we losing?
Our current lease is 24,479. Right.
If it's helpful, if you're familiar with the building, if you look around where teacher's office is or where that little kind of beverage station, right around that, give or take a few feet, is where it would now begin and then go the direction east, all the
Another
way to the end of. Correct.
Another
And then
point
up.
that might be worth making is 3 departments will stay together and move in unison.
Yes.
So I don't really want to get into the details unless you want those details on who that's going to be. We haven't really made that public yet, We were waiting for obvious reasons. But the departments that we're going to move to the second floor are currently all going to move together, will all still work cohesively together.
I don't really have a question for TJ. Him and I have talked about this, and Tracy and I have talked about this, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but man, this is when authority comes into play. Because we just had the West location that we dealt with. Now we've got administration again that we're dealing with. If we're an authority, we don't have to jump through all these hoops with landlords and leases and all this other garbage. But this is the hand that we've been dealt. This is where we're at, and we need a home. And I know we're not voting on this tonight, but so far I'm supportive of this because we kind of have to be. At this moment in time, I think we have to be. So I'm happy to take the 2 weeks. I'm glad you got this to us tonight so we can take the 2 weeks and ask questions and talk to you all about this. But the trajectory that we're heading on, I think is, we have to go in this direction. So thank you, TJ. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Antoinette.
Sorry, Wayne goes first, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wayne.
I have a question. When
Sure.
will the elevator be done?
The elevator's in.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't running.
No, so PACE, because they have people they serve with larger wheelchairs, the reason why they want to take over part of our section is they can't use an elevator, if that makes sense. Like, it wouldn't work for them. So I was just explaining that, yeah, I don't know.
I got it.
I'm probably not articulating it.
No, you are.
If there's any way to justify it with us offering the space because we're good neighbors, that's the way I'm trying to look at it.
To be honest, that's why I'm mentioning that is a factor. We ultimately want to do the right
Right.
thing for the people. That's also why we wanted to do half versus whole, because we also want to be accommodating to individuals who might have limited mobility. So hence why we want to have first and second.
Any other questions?
Internet, may I just add?
Yep.
We did get a better out clause. So I don't know, Drew, I don't think you have to necessarily go into the details, but maybe highlight that is a positive of this situation also.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Drew Vandegrift,
Because
Assistant
Drew's
Corporation
amazing, just to
Counsel.
give proper credit.
No, yeah, team effort. But, we're making lemonade here. But, I would point out, okay, so we were handed a letter and we were reminded of a term from a 2021 lease agreement that did not provide an option for us here, right? It was if invoked by the landlord, we must, accept a substitute space or leave. And so the letter that outlines, so this letter outlines the terms for the next lease, right? And I want to add, this only affects the property, the admin building at 19800 Hall Road, not other facilities. But TJ pointed out a bunch of things, and in a large part I was following his lead to success. But we're getting more space, and they wanted to charge us more for that. That's no longer the case now. So a lot of terms have changed today. So I had an opportunity to kind of negotiate with their attorney. And so their initial letter, I think there's marked improvement from it. We're not paying new money, so it doesn't cost us anything. There was an attempt to make us pay those improvements that the landlord is solely making so that we can move to this facility on the second floor. The idea was, well, okay, I don't know, we don't want to let you terminate. And then we kind of negotiated to the point that, like, well, if we experience a reduction in funding, then we can terminate. And then they said, well, how about you pay for all that stuff if you terminate? And we negotiated a better term, so we wouldn't be paying for those improvements. There's a more modest termination penalty, and I think the real marquee for a legal eye is that we have an option, to terminate. If we have a financial necessity to do that, and we didn't before. So I think that's a meaningful thing for us to acknowledge. Did anyone have any general or specific questions about the letter or kind of the path to the next lease? But okay, well, I will say this, that with the legal realities of the lease that we had already been a signatory to, I do believe this is the best deal that we can get. And any further, I think, would not be a deal maker. I think it would be a deal breaker. So I do recommend it as it's written.
And the new lease won't include a relocation?
Exactly right. Yes. Yeah. No. Very, very, very smart question.
TJ jostles me all the time for reading the leases and asking questions. Now you know why, and I missed this one, so we both missed it, and anybody can miss it.
Well, no financial harm done. Yep. And if you're curious, it's the fourth underlined subheading there. No substitute premises, and it's very clear that that is struck in the next lease.
Donna?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really had a long time to be able to look at the list. I think you'll probably get more questions as we, have time to really read over it. I did see on here that you did include something about parking, which I was really glad to see, because I've noticed that there's not much available parking, to where they have their office on the other side. And I did mention that already, that I was worried about us being able to have available parking. So I was glad to see that you mentioned that.
That's right. The first version of the letter promised us 8 parking spots. And now we have a commitment that there will be no reduction in our parking capacity, no matter what PACE does.
I appreciate that, because I was worried about that, because I know that Pace does have a lot of the trucks and and they take up a lot of space. So I was worried that we would really have a hard time having adequate parking for our employees and, for people that come in. And so I appreciate that you included that. I was worried about that.
I park in that lot also. I didn't want to take a PACE shuttle to the building from
I mean,
the back of the lot.
That may seem like a minor thing, but for people that come in to see people, that's important that we have that space for them, so I appreciate that. But I think that as we go over it, we'll probably have more questions, and we're able to really go over this.
Very good. I welcome every one of them. I would point out one final element of this letter. It is not legally binding.
Yeah.
So this is an assurance that allows the landlord to commence improvements on the second floor at their own cost. But if you see the very last on the second page, the very last underlined subheading, it's titled non-binding letter of intent. And this is not binding until a lease is executed. So this is a preliminary step towards the next lease that we intend will contain these agreed upon terms. And by the time that lease is executed, that will be the senior document, not this letter. So it actually fills, I would say, 0 legal role. It's not legally significant, but it is a commitment by both parties that allows us to remain.
Were there any other questions, comments? All right, I will just say, wanted to thank you both. I mean, you guys worked so quickly to get this done and with so much care and just keeping the people that we serve in mind. So thank you for that. And for the board, please, you have this in your hand now. So read over it, call with questions if any come in your mind, because when it comes to full board, we want to vote on this and keep things moving, because it has to be done. It's not a question of can we do it or not. It has to be done. So be sure to read through this and ask the questions when they come to your mind. TJ said we could call him, so
For sure.
he loves it. Clearly, he loves it. But yeah, we just want to make sure this moves smoothly, as it was just like pushed on us, and we have to do it. So let's get it done. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Any objections or abstain? All right.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
Okay, moving on, we have 6. There are no receiving files, no resolutions. Moving on to 8A, we have CEO update.
We'll be brief. This Sunday, in case you're interested, there is something called ViewFest. It's the 3rd year. It's, I think, 3,000 individuals can attend. It's a free event at the Detroit Zoo. It is especially targeting youth who might be experiencing educating them on mental health. They're already sold out, even though it's free. Myself, the equivalent of Macomb, the equivalent of Oakland, and the equivalent of Wayne are going to say a few brief words at the very beginning. I believe it starts at 8:30. So in case you're interested, I just wanted to share that just because it's a great event for us to be at. We also have a table there, of course, where our staff are going and sharing information. Also, Crossroads Clubhouse is attending as participants because it is a very, very cool event. So in the board update, when I send it out for before the next meeting, I'll include the information just because I think if you would like to attend in the future, know more, I would encourage you to do so. I do want to draw your attention in front of you. You have 2 survey results. One is for your governance survey, if you remember, part of our required policy, and of course, just good practice. You as a board should evaluate yourself, right, and give feedback to the leaders of this board as far as what's working and what's not working, so you have the results of that. We did have, I believe, 10 of the 12, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going by memory, but if you don't, just to be clear, it'll be at the top and I'll tell you how many did it. It is 10. So in theory, we'd like you to review those results. And then Phil, I don't know if you want to add anything on that one at all? Nope. Okay. The second one is the results of the CEO evaluation. So again, you have the results in front of it. I believe, just wanted to explain, somehow one of you did it twice, so 13 board members completed. I don't know what that means. We did close it down as soon as that happened, but one of you was like a superstar on that one. And just to be clear, we do only allow you to do it once, but if you use 2 different devices, so somebody must have used, like, I'm not saying this was the answer, but a phone and a laptop or some combination of it. So I just wanted to have that disclaimer to that one. Also, I apologize, there was an error. With the original time, I think only 1 or 2 people had filled out the error, but it referenced the former CEO. That was very quickly corrected, but I apologize for that error. I'm going to throw myself and Phil under the bus. We missed that one. Yep. So if you could review it, and of course, the next course of action, I don't know, Phil, if you want to add anything.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for filling this one out, because this is the one that I march to Al and say, hey, our CEO is doing a fantastic job when we start talking about renegotiating her contract. So I want to thank each and every one of you for filling it out and giving her 5 stars.
And I just want to say thank you, of course, as always. And the other day, I think it was Nick or somebody asked me in front, they're like, how long have you been doing this? And I told them 8 months, and then I realized after, it's been much longer than that. I don't know what that means, but yeah, so I just want to express, as always, my deepest appreciation for the opportunity to make a difference in the community that has, as you well know these days, many, many, many opposing forces. So it's a privilege, and thank you.
All right. Next, we have our reminders, CMH Board Recipient Rights Advisory Committee meeting, Thursday, July 17th at 8 a.m. at CMH Administration Building. We also have CMH Full Board Meeting Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. That is it for other agenda items. We have, moving on to 9, provider comments. Any providers? All right, hearing of the public, anyone of you want to jump up here? No? Okay, so now, Phil, do I throw this back to you for closed session?
I think Nick has his hand.
I just wanted to bring a couple of things to the board's attention before we go into closed session. One is Phil, Tracy, and I met with Representatives Donovan McKinney and McCall on the procurement issue. I think it went really well. I think they understood the problem that we raised with them, and Donovan is on the Appropriations Committee and asked to see the boilerplate that CMH was proposing, which I will make sure, I think I said it, I think I emailed it to them, now I will soon. And we are expecting, I've reached out to 2 or 3 others that one has gotten back to me already, and so we're going to try to meet with as many as we can. Tracy might want to mention again the meeting at St. Import Huron.
Yes.
But before you do that, let me just hit one other issue, and I'll do something that none of you expect me to do, which is shut up. Over the 4th of July weekend, Peggy and I had the chance to go to Stahl's Museum, which is an auto museum up near New Haven. If you haven't been there, I recommend it. It's a great place. It's free. They operate on donations. They are having, and I forgot to bring it, I think, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Okay, I forgot to bring it out here to Tracy. In August, they're having a date where all of the proceeds will go to autism folks. So I think you may want to go that time, and I'm going to give it to Tracy so she can let everybody know and maybe put it on the website so that other people be aware of it, because they're doing the fundraiser. It won't come to us. It will go, I forget which autistic association, but then it's everybody's, pardon me? It's not local, okay, whatever it is, you can make your own judgment, but I thought the board would like to know about that. Wayne's reminding me that they do things for veterans, they do things for a lot of different folks, and it's something I think people should know about, then they can decide what they want to do or not do.
I believe that it's called Autos for Autism.
I'm sorry?
Autos for Autism.
Yes, it's called Autos
Yep,
for
you're right.
Autism, and it's
that's it.
something, both of us thought their museum was better than Greenfield Village. I mean, what they had on display was phenomenal. I mean, I was particularly thrilled to see a Hudson because my dad worked at Hudson Motor Car Company years ago. They have one of the lunar modules on display, an actual one, so you can see where the three astronauts are not going to the moon, but going up into space where the three astronauts at. And they've got cars going back to the 19th century, as well as a lot from the 20th century. And they've got a lot of other things too that are interesting. I was impressed, and I think the fact that they're doing something for autism, whether they're doing it for the right association or not, they're still doing something for autism, and I think that's something we should help the public out.
Very good, and if it's okay, I apologize if this is out of order, but I did forget to remind, even though I wrote it down, July the 14th, all of you guys received an email. I know several of you are already attending. If you can go, we'd greatly appreciate it. It is an opportunity. The way the structure is going to work is there is a presentation from their kind of a welcoming, but after that, the CEO of St. Clair, the equivalent of myself, then I come up and speak and we talk about the PHP procurement. After that, you then are going to hear very quickly from myself, St. Elec, Lapeer, and thank you, the location we're in, St. Clair, about kind of from their perspective, how this impacts each one of those regions. And then after that, there is also, and Richard's they're going to be there to speak about how financially it's impacting us, or at least projected to impact us. We will talk a little bit about also, of course, the Medicaid cuts, but it will mostly be about the PHP procurement negative impacts. After that, they're trying to time a half an hour of questions where people can go up to the microphone and ask questions. But of course, that would be both the legislators, but also the legislators hopefully involved in that conversation. We haven't had a lot of response from the Macomb County legislators yet, even though thank you to the executive office personally reached out to each one of them to try to encourage them to attend. So I say that, so if you know someone who is that, I would encourage them to also attend. It is a great opportunity to hit a large geographic region all in one setting. So again, if you can attend, we would greatly appreciate it if you could share it with your legislator if they already aren't attending, which I think only one that I'm aware of that is currently attending.
Plus, to go a little bit further on a museum, it's a great place for an off-site visit and to have a dinner or a meeting there, which I've done that with different organizations there. They will take care of everything that we would need. That's an idea.
All right. Bill.
All right, we're going to go into closed session. So I will take a motion to go into closed session to discuss attorney-client privilege memo dated 7/9/25 pursuant to MCL 15.2681H.
Support.
Motion from Megan, support from Antoinette. I have to take a roll call vote. Donna. Lori. Selena. Megan. Myself, yes. Antoinette.
Yes.
Sharita. Julia. Nick. Wayne.
Yes.
Perfect. We are in closed session. Antoinette, do you want to do the adjournment? All right. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion from Donna, support from Megan. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We're adjourned.